Ooh. Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Making sure my mic on right. Damn. Hold up. Yeah. Woo. Hold up. Is my chat not working again on this side? Perhaps that's the case right now. Let me see what's up. Of course. Yeah, my chat ain't working on this side. It's all good, though. I'm going to keep it open on this end so I can at least see it. We got Fritz in the building. Julio. We got Mick. We got Dreaded Prophet Vincent. Mike Nice. Hello, everybody. We streaming, but it ain't the chat ain't working on this end, but it's all right. There are worse things in life. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. We here. We made it through another work week. We almost done. Hold on, we got Dora in here. Hello. He said, I get my seeds feminized and my women womanized. I wish I could put that up on this end, but it's hating on me today. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. The chat on this end hating on me today, but we all good. But we are back. I will be hosting tonight on the first hour of the Power Panel. Normally, I'm on the second hour. Normally, they got me on the second hour. I don't know why they got me on the first hour today, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Distracted Gardener. Thank you. Yes, I'll be dropping the membership program at some point, probably late tonight. I'll end up putting it up, and then I'll be promoting it and stuff. But the membership program has 3 tiers. Oh my goodness, this weed smells absolutely wonderful. Goodness gracious. Oh, this smells wonderful. It's called Grape Crush too, and it smells like grape. It does smell like grapes. But yes, we got the hero tier, the superhero tier, and the super duper hero tier. You know what I'm saying? And in addition to exclusive access to dope content, exclusive chat rooms, and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? We gonna have the members helping with the production of the show. You know, help us take this channel to the next level. Who should we interview? What should we talk about? How should we restructure things? What's some fun things we can add? And then most importantly, we'll be having our member meetings for the super duper heroes. We'll be having our member meetings so that we can push to implement change in communities, push things through city council. You know what I'm saying? Is there a lack of handicap ramps in your neighborhood to a library or to a building where there needs to be better access? Maybe it's at the local elementary school, something like that. You have good ideas for, effective after school programs that could help children who have struggles learning mathematics, things like that can go through city council. I always talk about the program, the college savings program in the township in St. Louis that I grew up in, that gives every public school student a college savings account when they enter kindergarten. And if they do well in school, participate in extracurricular activities and stuff like that, then they can graduate with $500 worth of savings for college, which is pretty awesome. And that is paid for by parking meters and parking tickets and stuff like that. So, let's see, hold on. I'm not yet on Discord or Mastodon, but after I get the membership section going and we get things just a little bit more organized, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I get on all those platforms, but I'm just gonna need some assistance. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that we can manage everything properly. But go ahead and join me if you got something to hit. If you got something rolled up, I'm trying to figure out what exactly we should play. I got too much music on my damn phone, man. Okay, yeah, let's keep this on. Let's keep this on. But yes, I'm very excited about the membership program because I know that we can do big things in communities around the country if we just put our minds together, put our minds and our efforts together. So I will be releasing that later this evening, and then we'll keep on building everything out. Now, go ahead and load your bong. Whatever it is that you got loaded with me, we're going to get into it. We got quite a bit of things to go over today, actually. Some funny videos and some stories. Got to keep on covering the big dog, Donald Trump, the big man himself. You know what I mean? We got to stay with it. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can. I mean, I'm over here trying to get this thing to turn on my side, but I can't even see it. Okay, whatever. We gonna stay doing it like this. Aaron, hello. We got Aaron in the building. What is this thing called work? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It gets in the way though. We got Alex Lovey from North Georgia. Finally a registered nurse and successfully passed my DT to get my first new grad dream job. Congratulations, Alex. That's absolutely amazing news. Congratulations. I wish you the best of luck. The inside of my bong is clean, Dora. I rubbed on the outside, but I don't know. I kind of dig the battle scars of my bong, Dora, because it's like, I don't know. It shows that I've been there and done that. But like, it's just a stain. It's just like on there. It's like, I don't know. It's just there. But the inside of the bong is clean. You said you got a big work day? Okay. Oh, well, Dark Dragon, I appreciate you. Well, we had a good time with Nerd Talk. I think that show is going to do well, especially as we keep doing it and get just more sophisticated, get the clips out and stuff like that. I think that show is definitely going to do well. All right, go ahead and get your shit ready. We're going to take this hit and we're going to get into it. But yes, again, congratulations to Alex. That's very good news. Cheers to you. Yo, Fritza, that sounds cool as hell. That sounds cool as hell. She about to do a dry ice experiment with her kids. That sounds cool as hell. They gonna love that. Now let's go ahead and get into it. I don't even need to take a second here because that shit was powerful. You know what I mean? Take your vitamins. I took my multivitamins this morning. Did you? Hold on, let me put out this fire. I hate when I hit the bong and the fire just keeps on. Oh, he said, my man Cigar Head said it's stimulant time. Y'all see them stimulants back there? You see them prescription bottles? Stimulants, baby. Methylphenidate. Which I am certainly on right now. I am certainly on 20 milligrams of Ritalin as we speak. Significant. Yes, that hit was significant. Okay, Fritza. Yeah. Now, let's get into it. I think a good one to start with, speaking of stimulants, you know what I'm saying? Cigar Head, speaking of stimulants, let's start off with Donald Trump Jr. You know what I'm saying? Where's my man's at? Let me find him out here. I'm just jamming to this music, you know what I'm saying? Your vitamin coffee, vitamin THC and vitamin coffee, you know what I'm saying? vitamin THC indeed, as well as vitamin amphetamines. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on all day. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into this thing. Again, I will be on the power panel tonight at 6 o'clock. And then I will be releasing the membership programs tonight. And then I'm going to be promoting the hell out of them just so that y'all know exactly what it is that we're doing. Because again, what I'm really excited about is that we'll be able to come together and actually push for some change, actually, get some stuff done. And oftentimes the stuff right in our backyards, we can get that change done a lot quicker. And it's possible. We look at our problems and we're like, oh, Joe Biden's got to do something about this. But oftentimes it's the councilmen and councilwomen who can do something about that. You said you had a quarter of an Adderall and an apple spice latte. Yeah, you with that Adderall, you take that full Adderall, your ass gonna be high for 12, 13 hours. That's why I don't like it. Anytime I do Adderall, I'm prescribed for Ritalin, but anytime I do Adderall, I take half. And it'll still be like 6 hours. You feel me? My big ass. But here we go. Donald Trump Jr. decries bias of Hunter Biden indictment protests. He's the one trending. Speaking of stimulants and amphetamines, it's the stimulant king. This
looking quite grim for the president.
Donald Trump Jr. Love him some cocaine stimulation.
His son. Let's bring in Donald Trump Jr. to react. He's executive vice president of the Trump Organization. Good to have you. I'm like serendipitous timing. We didn't know this indictment was going to come down today. Good to have you. Let's see your initial thoughts, Don.
Well, listen, I think Congressman Comer's 100% right? Of the dozens of things, this is probably, while serious, meaning a lot of people go to jail for a long period of time, this is the one that doesn't tie back to the big guy. Everything else involves Joe Biden, then as VP, perhaps as president, who knows? But there's dozens of crimes, far more serious, far more jeopardizing in terms of putting our free at risk, secrets, selling out our nation. And yet the one that they choose to pursue is the one that somehow magically doesn't involve Joe Biden. They almost have no interest in the 10% for the big guy, the audio tapes from Ukrainian officials, why the Chinese government would invest $1 billion with a known crackhead, little things like that, Eric. So
says the cokehead.
It doesn't surprise me at all. And what doesn't also surprise me is sort of the reaction. I'm looking on Twitter a short while ago, and I'm the guy that was trending. Not Hunter Biden, not the president's son indicted, but it was Don Jr. that was trending. Just like it was Don Jr. When the cocaine in the White House was there. Somehow I was trending then too. It shows you.
Yeah. Probably because you're always clearly on cocaine, and your sinuses are destroyed every time. Well, I'm telling y'all, man, that's one of the reasons why there's many reasons why I stopped doing cocaine. But one of them is because your sinuses are always fucked. And it's like, one, you don't want to go through life like that. And two, if you come around once or twice and your sinuses are messed up, it's like, okay, maybe he's sick. But if every time you come around your sinuses is messed up, it's like, okay, bro, you feel me? Like, do your thing. If you're gonna do your thing, do your thing. But I guess luckily for me, I never hid the fact that I did coke, but I didn't like being around other people while I was high on cocaine because everybody can tell that your ass is high on cocaine. You feel me? And it's not necessarily a good look. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, perhaps I should just stop doing this and just get a prescription for Ritalin and safer things like I've had throughout my life. And it was definitely a good decision. And, he should do it too. Like, bro, just take some Ritalin, take some Adderall. It lasts much longer. You're not going to have to ruin your sinuses, but it may not be strong enough for him, because cocaine is definitely stronger than Ritalin and Adderall. It hits you like, whoa, right now.
The bias. It shows you that, it's almost impossible to have equal justice in this country right now, because between big tech and mainstream media, you don't have a chance.
So let me ask your opinion.
Oh, Twin Dragon. If he keeps this up, some people make it for a while, but if you're doing cocaine all the time, that shit gonna fuck you up. It fries your brain and it roasts your body. Among other things, you don't sleep and you don't eat while you're on it. So you just, if he keeps this up and doesn't stop, then he ain't gonna live a long life.
on a couple. First of all, I'll take the under on how many years Hunter will serve. He could get up to 25 for the 3 charges.
Yeah,
10, 5,
I'm going to
and
go
10.
with a big whopping 0.
I'll
Eric,
take
and
the
we all know
under.
that's
Actually,
what's gonna happen.
I'll take the under on your 0, and I probably won't lose. Don, here's the question though. They're going to have to, in order to defend Hunter Biden, they're going to have to use the same laws that are legal, or Second Amendment rights, the same ones that Joe Biden, the president, is trying to eliminate. The irony is so thick here. Thoughts?
Well, no, it's disgusting. As someone who's a staunch Second Amendment advocate, someone who's out there, a competitive shooter myself, I see all the people who've been charged with this. I see innocent gun shops raided by the ATF because someone put a comma in the wrong spot. I see people that have been thrown in.
What is he talking about? What the hell did he just say? What?
An advocate, someone who's out there, a competitive shooter myself. I see all the people who.
Right, his eyes is fucked. And you know what? Honestly, listen, he probably trying mad hard not to be like this. You feel me? That's why he like this, because he trying mad hard not to be like this. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I stopped doing coke, because people look at me for a living. You know what I'm saying? And when you on coke and you try to focus on shit, your eyes be like this. Like you just be like everybody can tell. You feel me? So he probably like, all right, I'm gonna look real normal right now. It's kind of dark. I got the dim light, so at least my eyes aren't flickering. Because I'm telling you, bro, like when you zapped out on that powder, you be like everybody can tell you high, bro.
Who've been charged with this. I see innocent gun shops raided by the ATF because someone put a comma in the wrong spot. I see people that have been thrown in jail literally for doing exactly what Hunter did, and he's charged with 3 separate incidents, right? There was the disposal of the firearm in a garbage can outside of a high school. I mean, think about that. Like, I have a feeling if it was Don Jr. or virtually any other in the country, certainly a conservative citizen, that same ATF, that same DOJ would be prosecuting them to the fullest extent of the law. You saw what they tried to get away with a couple of weeks ago when, this, along with all the other charges of money laundering, tax fraud, tax evasion, et cetera, we're going to just be swept under the rug with a little no jail time plea deal.
My man Cigar says sinus problem solved. Just get even more high. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, just get even more high. You may have other types of problems, but at least your sinuses won't be messed up. But it is a pragmatic approach, Cigar here. So I'm not saying it's the right approach or the wrong approach, but there is a healthy amount of pragmatism in that suggestion. So, tip of the hat to you. Yo, man, I've never done crack, and I can't even imagine because, man, good coke, you be high. So I can't even imagine. God damn. And then meth? Oh no. See, now listen. Yeah, a lot of y'all tougher than me, man. I'll tell you what. But yeah, good coke will take you there. So I can't even, man. Crack could just be, for me, that'd just be like, oh, too much.
Until even a judge finally said, wait a minute, like, how is this even possible? You're absolving someone?
He said, is boofing cocaine a thing? I'm sure it is. Shit. Hell yeah, I'm sure people definitely do that.
For other crimes we may not even know about yet in these plea agreements. And finally, they said, this is a deal that no human being would ever receive.
How Blair, I don't recommend you even try it. It's much stronger than Red Bull, but don't do it.
Unless, of course, you're an elite Democrat or the son of a Democrat president. So I'm glad that happened. I'm glad maybe they're finally doing something. I'm not expecting it to go anywhere. I think of this
my
as
concern,
it's a
Don,
diversion. It's the excuse. They slap him on the wrist, and then he gets away with everything else. That'll be their excuse to say that they were fair and they investigated accordingly.
Exactly. This is David Weiss, I believe, protecting the Bidens yet again, because David Weiss is the guy who allowed some of the more serious charges to expire. The statute of limitations expired. They were still left with the IRS and the gun charge when they made that sweetheart plea deal. Thank goodness we had a judge named Noriega say, no, that deal's not good. You guys need to work this out. And we're coming back. But this gun idea, and they're probably going to let him walk on that. Can Joe Biden, or should Joe Biden, preemptively pardon his son, which he can do, in this or anything else he's later accused of. What are your thoughts on doing that?
Listen, I think there's no question he'll do that eventually. I think he understands the political liability of that, so he'll let it drag out to the last minute or whatever it may be, and then do it. He wouldn't do it during an election cycle. He'd do it either during a lame duck section later on and slow roll the courts. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing with all the information that the Republicans are trying to get. They'll wait till the last minute. Okay, well, 2 weeks to get us. It comes on day number 14th, the last hour, Sunday. Oh, there's a clinical error. I guess we start the clock again. They're slow rolling it. By this time, in 2017, I believe I'd done about 40 or 50 hours of testimony before these committees for the fake Russia stuff, and there was legitimately no.
Okay, that was a good way to start the show. You know what I'm saying? To the king of coke himself. But yeah, coke is just one of those things that if you like it, you're gonna want to do it a lot, and then and next thing you know, you're doing it all the time. And one of the biggest problems with coke, among other things, is it doesn't last. This shit don't last, bro. Like, this shit only lasts for like 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. But next thing you know, you're just doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And I mean, you never really can afford that shit, man. I mean, even people with mad fucking money, who can really afford? Because it's not just so that people with a lot of money, they may just do like sniff like upwards of $10,000 worth of coke in a month. You feel me? Like, maybe not quite that much, but around there. And then all the money that they spend because they own it. You feel me? Like, that shit, man. If you must do speed, then just get a prescription for like Ritalin or something. It's pretty much the same thing. It's not quite as extreme, but it's pretty much the same shit, and it's dosed out if you must. All right, now what we gonna get into? Fox analyst throws cold water on Hunter Biden charges. Real jail time is not much of a possibility.
He's technically facing big prison time over federal gun charges after that sweetheart plea deal actually collapsed. But is this all a smokescreen to hide the other crimes that involve others in the Biden family? Joining me now is Saul Weisenberg, former deputy independent counsel and Fox News contributor, as well as David Schoen, former Trump impeachment lawyer. All right, Saul, I do kind of agree with what Vivek Ramaswamy tweeted out earlier that.
Like Ritalin and shit. Yeah, Mick. Yeah, I mean, you would have to try it. Some people. I mean, I use it practically for like work and stuff. Even like if I'm just like cleaning the house or something, it just kind of makes you like zone in and do stuff. But I mean, some people don't like it. But it can make you anxious too, because like you're all sped up, you feel me? So you got to be doing some shit. And if you're not in a positive state of mind, do not take no damn speed, because if you do, then you just gonna be anxious as a motherfucker.
This seems a little bit like a smokescreen, because is it bigger than the Biden family's perhaps being on the take with foreign governments and having our foreign policy affected by it? Probably not. But nevertheless, real jail time, a possibility. Your reaction tonight?
Real jail time is not much of a possibility, Laura. But really, in terms of Weiss, he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. If he didn't indict and let the speedy trial clock run out, he'd be criticized for that, deservedly so. And so he did the minimum that he had to do, I think, to save face. So I don't think the fact that he indicted Hunter today or had the grand jury do it is part of a vast cover-up. It's just that there are other cover-ups going on. And that's important to point out.
Well, Hunter's lawyer, Abbe Lowell, immediately put out a statement saying, in part, the evidence in this matter has not changed in the last 6 weeks.
And the problem with coke, too, is it's fucking awesome. You feel me? Like, it feels great. So, like, it's not. Ritalin and Adderall is more practical. Like, you still up, you still feel it, but like, you can do stuff. Coke, you just want more. You feel me? Like, don't do this. Don't do it. It's not. And to me, it's not even something like, oh, I can do this sometimes. Like, nah, bro. If I do coke, I'm gonna be doing it. So I just don't do it.
But the law has, and so has MAGA Republicans, improper and partisan interference in the process. All right, David, he also says that the charges don't hold water because of the diversion agreement. He's going back to the diversion agreement. Your reaction to that?
Well, you know, Hunter's got one of the most experienced criminal lawyers in the country in Abbe Lowell, and he's a pretty wise lawyer also. So I think he's going to try his best to negotiate first to get that diversion agreement back in place. But I think if he has to litigate it, he certainly will, and he's a tough fighter.
We got Jen from Down Under in the building.
There's something to the idea that diversion agreement can be enforced. It's a signed agreement. Paragraph 19 of the agreement says it's the complete agreement. Government's position is the probation officer didn't sign off where it says approved by, but there's nothing in this agreement, in contrast to the plea agreement, that requires that. And you can be sure behind the scenes the probation office approved it. But beyond that, what he's talking about with the law, I believe, is Fifth Circuit case of Rahimi, is almost identical to count 3 that's charged here. It threw out a charge of possession of a firearm by a person under an order, domestic violence order, under 18 U.S.C. 922 G8. Count 3 here charges Hunter under 922 G3 being possession of a firearm as a drug user. So very similar. I think they looked at the history in Rahimi, history of the Second Amendment. They found it's not the kind of thing that should be a prohibition against gun possession. I think he's got a strong case. The Supreme Court has granted certiorari in Rahimi. They did that back in June. We'll see what happens. But, you know, this is the hot issue. Yesterday, 6 cases were argued in the New York Court of Appeals on this kind of issue, whether these gun control regulations are constitutional. And Abbe Lowell knows he's got a very strong argument in that regard.
I feel like I just got CLE credit, continuing legal education credit from Schoen for the California bar. Thanks, David. I appreciate that. All right, Saul, on this issue, though, Jamie Raskin came out today. And again, they're trying to kind of turn the tables on this narrative. Watch.
Hunter Biden, has been prosecuted by a U.S. attorney who Donald Trump appointed, who Joe Biden kept in office, far from trying to cover anything up. I think President Biden has
Christina, hello. Always good to have you here.
Credibility that
I'm over here looking at the chat in my phone because the software that I use for streaming, I mean, obviously I stream through YouTube, but streaming through YouTube actually fucking sucks. So like you got to do it through other software. Of course, you feel me? But yeah, sometimes the chat just goes down. That's why I'm looking like this in my shit. But thank you for coming.
He believes in equal justice under the law, and he allowed Donald Trump's prosecutor to stay on board and investigate his own son.
Because when I think corruption, I think Eric Swalwell. No, Saul, what of this? I mean, Hunter was charged because Joe wants equal justice. What?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think others have said this, and it bears repeating. David Weiss would not have been chosen as the U.S. attorney for the District of Delaware if he was objectionable in any way to either of the 2 Democratic senators there. So, again, to call him Trump appointed is to kind of, yes, he's technically Trump appointed, but it wouldn't have happened if he wasn't an entirely safe individual. And David makes a good point. Abbe Lowell is a great lawyer. But remember that Abbe is not the one who negotiated the original diversion agreement. And there's going to be a real factual dispute here. If the court says that the agreement is ambiguous on the issue of whether or not the probation officer has to sign off or whether or not he agreed with it, there are differing interpretations, because there was a filing a few days ago where the government said, absolutely, the chief probation officer in Delaware never signed off on it. And the defense came back and said that not only did they sign off on it, but the government represented that in an email to the court. But we don't find a record of that.
Okay, but again, like I said yesterday, I mean, and based on what it's looking like, there's not going to be like votes to actually impeach Joe Biden. And, I mean, regardless of what goes down from this, it's not going to sway anybody. This isn't going to make people vote for Trump or not vote for Joe Biden. It's just not. Like, polls are showing that people absolutely 100% would love and want to see another candidate other than Joe Biden. But those polls don't show that if we don't get another candidate than Joe Biden, I'm going to vote for Trump instead. That's not what they show. So really, this is in a lot of ways just a matter of Trump either staying where he is or getting less popular with, votes that'll make or break him. That's really it. It's can he stay where he's at, or is he just going to keep on piling upon himself more issues, which it's likely the latter. He's almost certainly going to continue. Almost certainly, he's going to continue to pile up issue upon issue. Um, so we'll see what happens. But either way, let's definitely keep our eyes on local elections and just other office races, because it's just going to be Biden versus Trump unless something all of a sudden happens. That's what it is. Megyn Kelly tells Newsmax Trump still ticked off about that debate question.
Interaction. I listened to the whole podcast, say your whole interview. That interaction, boy, you're a tough interviewer, and to your credit, you did journalism today, Megyn.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So I like Trump. Our relationship is complicated a little, I think, on both ends, right? Because of everything that happened around that question, that debate. It's all laid out in my book, Settle for More. But anyway, it's a little complicated, but I think we both respect each other. And it's like,
I mean, honestly, yeah, until 2028, regardless, again, it's unless something changes, it's just Biden v. Trump. But in order for Biden to really be challenged, I mean, I don't think that he's just going to step down willingly. I mean, he could do that, but I don't think that's going to happen. So unless that happens, the only way that Biden can lose is if more people enter the Democratic primary. But unless that happens, then it is what it is.
I don't know, kind of like two silverback gorillas, right? Because he knows even though I like him, I have to ask him tough questions. That's my job. And I know that even
Wendy, thank you for joining us from the UK. Thank you so much for being here.
though he's inclined to like me, he's still ticked off about that debate question. So there's a little friction behind our relationship. And I think it works on television, frankly. It's a dynamic that works. And so at times it got a little contentious, but overall, I think we have a begrudging respect for one another. And as you know, as a journalist, I'll take it. I'd much rather people respect me than love me. I'm not a politician, so that's the game I'm in. And he did fine. He knew.
Because again, like even it's just Trump supporters aren't going to leave him, and ultimately this is basically just like any other presidential race we've ever seen. It's going to be relatively close, like which pretty much every presidential election is. It's pretty much split up just evenly, and then somebody skirts across. Sometimes people win in huge numbers, but I mean, there's a lot of press coverage. But ultimately, this ain't no different than it ever is. Whether Joe Biden and Donald Trump are there or not, the system is thoroughly corrupt with corporate money, regardless of it. So, that's why I say let's, at the end of the day, let's not get too caught up in it. And no matter what it is that you believe, and no matter what it is that you want to push forward, let's focus more on local government, because that's just where we can not only get things done quicker, but also build out improved models so that we can, actually take things to higher levels instead of just going there without any proof here. You know what I mean? So I ain't got the emotional energy to be all too caught up in this shit.
I wasn't going to softball it. He knew that I was going to go to places like the criminal indictments, which frankly, he shouldn't be talking about at all, but he's chosen to. And not only did he give me the interview, he sat for longer. It was supposed to be 45 minutes. He gave me an hour 20. So he didn't have to do that. He's not like President Basement, who's constantly hiding from the media. Not that they would.
President Basement. She called Joe Biden President Basement. Hey, I dig it. You know what I'm saying? I actually dig that. President Basement. Get a shirt made. You know what I'm saying? With him like way deep down in the ground.
Ask him any tough questions. He got out there. And even after the contentious exchanges, we had a lot of like kind of heartfelt moments about Melania, about his future. So all the credit in the world to him for doing it.
We're going to get to a lot of those moments because they're phenomenal. How did you secure the interview? Let me ask you that. After 7 years, it's been a long time. How did that come about?
I saw him at the Turning Point event in July, where we both spoke live, and we had a nice moment behind the scenes where we just sort of said hello to one another, and it was very friendly and cordial. And I said, would you consider doing it? And he's like, I'll do it. And then we just sort of made it happen from there. So, I think we're just in a better place. I mean, I think he's never totally going to forgive me for the question. I don't feel I have anything to apologize for, but I think he recognizes that notwithstanding all that.
President Joe Basement. All right, let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. What we gonna go to now? Okay, here we go. We just gonna keep going down the line because a whole lot of people are saying like, oh, Trump. Matter of fact, no. Let's go over this right now because yesterday the video wasn't up. But y'all remember the pastor who said that basically autism is of the devil. he got a lot of backlash for it because he said God doesn't make mess ups. God doesn't make mistakes. So if your child has autism, it's because something, demons and Satan. So we actually have some of the video here now where I guess he's trying to make a deep point about how, if your child has developmental issues, social hindrances of some kind, or if they're just different in some way.
It's very crucial. Someone has a physical infirmity and you cast that demon out, you might have to pray for some things to be fixed. Let's talk about one. Let's talk about autism. Rick, did you just go there? Yeah. Like I know a minister who had you just go.
He planned this out. He said, oh, he was like, oh, did you just take it there? Yeah, I took it there. And then he resigned because obviously, I guess he wasn't about
Let's
it.
talk about autism. Rick, did you just go there? Yeah. Like I know a minister who has seen lots of kids that are autistic, that he cast that demon out and they were healed, and then he had to pray and their brain was rewired and they were fixed.
I just said this. I know tons of ministers who just prayed out the autism. They just prayed the autism out. You know what I'm saying? And of course, do you have any files? Do you have any tangible evidence of this? I know tons of preachers and pastors who just, they just prayed the autism away.
Autistic, that he cast that demon out and they were healed. Like I know a minister who has seen lots of kids that are autistic.
Oh, a minister. Okay, so this is like the special real deal minister. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the autism minister.
That he cast that demon out and they were healed, and then he had to pray and their brain was rewired and they were fixed. Yeah, I just went there. I mean, you can get online and see lots of examples of it. If it's not demonic, then we have to say God made them that way.
he's just a dumb guy. Like he's just dumb because because this is the way I see it. It either has to be like this or like that. And it's like, why does it have to be like this or like that? And if God did make it possible for people to be autistic, I guess would be the thing. If that's within the realm of possibility, then it's like, no, that can't be. It can only be that. Like, what are you talking about? Like you're fat. Like that could be a problem to a lot of people. You got a beer gut. You feel me? Like I don't know. You bald head. You bald head and you fat. You feel me? You have man tits. And look at how you standing up. Like, you feel me? Like I could, who cares? You feel me? But like, I could make that a deal. I could make that a big deal. And clearly you're not a very intelligent person just based on what you're saying. So yeah, I mean, he's just dumb. And then he resigned because he knows that this was stupid. You know what I'm saying? And his answer when he was trying to defend it was horrible because he's stupid.
Like that's the only other explanation. Why is my kid have autism? Well, either the devil's attacked them, he's brought this infirmity upon them, he's got them where he wants them, and or God just doesn't like them very much and he made them that way. Well, my God doesn't make
what? He just don't like autistic people, so he just made him that way. Like, who said who says who God does and doesn't like? Like, what do you
junk?
Like God, he's just sitting up in the clouds, chilling, just judging everybody. That's all he has to do all day.
God doesn't make.
And then listen, if it's not of God, then God isn't all powerful. You feel me? So that's what's also so stupid about looking at things this way. It's like, if this is of something else that can create things, then that means God isn't the all powerful. That means God isn't the only all powerful deity up in the clouds. So it's like your monotheism is breaking down with how you're looking at it. You feel me? Like they're just dumb.
Mess ups. God doesn't make people that way. So let's quit being nice and putting a Band-Aid on stuff and giving it medicine. And this goes so much bigger than autism, people. I just gave you that as an example.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go. Free Breather's an extreme loser. You lame as hell, bro.
And I made a statement Wednesday night talking about demons, and we're going to keep talking about them.
Here we go. We talking about demons again
on Wednesday night. And I made a statement. I said, let's talk about something demonic. And I said, autism. And then I said, God doesn't make junk. Those of you that know me know that I love people, and I would never say that people are junk. It has been perceived that I'm evil, that I am full of the devil, that I am possessed myself, because I said kids with autism are junk. That's what has been perceived. What was intended was autism is junk.
Why is he speaking so slow, like he's really saying something?
People that have it are loved by God and loved by me. Now, I've tried to reach out to some of the mob mentality that's attacking Beulah right now. I can't get anywhere. I have been told that autism is a blessing from God. I have been told that I'm the evil one. But you know what? If I was to stand up here and say cancer is junk, people would agree. If I were to stand up here and say addiction is junk, people would agree.
Not necessarily. And it's not quite the same thing either. Like, this guy's just an idiot. And he's from Missouri too, my home state.
If I were to stand up here and say addiction is junk, people would agree. But for some reason, when I shine the light on this subject, it has been blown so far out of proportion.
All right, what we gonna get into next? Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin hits Republicans for hypocrisy over Hunter Biden gun charges. If it was anybody else, they'd be calling for Second Amendment rallies.
Congressman Raskin, good to see you. Let's start with the indictment of Hunter Biden, 3 counts. What was your reaction to the charges?
Well, the rule of law continues to work in America. I suppose it was not unlike my reaction after the 4 indictments against Donald Trump and the 91 criminal charges, which is that the grand juries have met, the grand juries have assembled all the facts, and the grand juries have acted. And, you know, I know there's some jubilation and celebration among my GOP colleagues, and, you know, that's fine if that's their feeling. It's a bit ironic to me, given that I think if almost anybody else in the country were charged with those gun charges, they would be calling for Second Amendment rallies all over the country. But we do stand up on our side of the aisle for the rule of law. We want to see the rule of law work in everybody's case, whether we're talking about Hunter Biden or Donald Trump or Jared Kushner or anybody else.
Actually, I haven't heard much jubilation from House Republicans, but the comments that mainly we're hearing are along the lines of this is somebody said something to Manu.
Yeah, man. It's obviously just a huge shit show. But at the end of the day, there's really not much new going on. There's really nothing interesting happening. Now, we are going to watch a bunch of people give their thoughts on Donald Trump apparently just admitting to crimes like he always does. But that's nothing new whatsoever. Hold up. But first, let's see. Apparently, Jake Tapper went off. I don't know exactly, but we'll see what it is. CNN's Jake Tapper unleashes a profane, bleeped out tirade to introduce a segment on McCarthy.
Much appreciated. The House Republican conference behind closed doors today sounded a bit like this. Okay, I'm not going to bring those actual nasty words into your living room. But Speaker Kevin McCarthy held a closed-door meeting with House Republicans that was intense and became heated. 3 sources in the room tell CNN that McCarthy grew frustrated at the threats to oust
Aaron, thank you so much for being here. Hope that goes well for you, and I will see you later. Thank you.
him as Speaker. At one point, McCarthy said, quote, move the effing motion, referencing recent threats from Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz, calling for a motion on the House floor to remove McCarthy as Speaker, to which Gaetz responded, quote, how about just move the effing spending bills? Obviously, nobody said effing, but you catch the drift. After the meeting, reporters caught up with McCarthy to ask him about these threats from Congressman Gaetz.
Threats don't matter, and sometimes people do those things because of personal things, and that's all fine. I don't walk away from a battle. I knew changing Washington would not be easy. I knew people would fight or try to hold leverage for other things. I'm going to continue to focus on what's the right thing to do for the American people. And you know what? If it takes a fight, I'll have a fight.
Fight being a different F word than the one Mr. McCarthy deployed away from the cameras today. Here's how Congressman Matt Gaetz responded to the meetings, talking exclusively with CNN's Manu Raju.
I'm concerned for the Speaker that he seems to be a little rattled and unhinged in a time when we need focus and strong effort. Whether or not McCarthy faces a motion to vacate is within his own hands. All he has to do is come into compliance with the deal we made in January.
Let us recall, McCarthy is facing multiple major battles, not only these threats to oust him, but also substantively a possible government shutdown, as members of his party are threatening to not pass the short-term spending bill that McCarthy wants them to, that would keep the government running past September 30th. And of course, there's the impeachment inquiry into President Biden that McCarthy launched without presenting any concrete evidence yet that Biden personally financially benefited from his son Hunter's business dealings, and without bringing that to a floor vote after saying 12 days beforehand that he would have a floor vote to demonstrate how serious the matter is. Then, of course, there's policy, right?
Bro, Kevin McCarthy. Like, you really gonna let this young blood do this to you, man? Are you serious? You gonna let this dude? You are, bro, you run. You're the head of the house. You the head of the house, and you letting this dude do all this to you? Apparently so, man. Apparently so. But we're gonna take another quick little hit. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday. It's a good day. We're gonna make sure that we keep it a good day. So if you got something to hit, go ahead and hit it with me, because I got my bong right here. You feel me? And then we're going to keep this train moving forward. We got the membership programs dropping later this evening. I'm going to let them out. You know what I'm saying? Hero package, superhero package, and the super duper hero tier. You feel me? It's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to us being able to come together, the members coming together to push positive policy through City Hall. Through City Council, rather. Yeah. Yes, legalize marijuana now. Legalize it now. Collect them tax dollars, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, Jake Tapper was definitely having fun with that. But nah, Matt Gaetz is slapping Kevin McCarthy around. Slapping that boy around. Free Thinker came in here. He dropped a couple of Bible verses. I didn't look at them, but my guess is the Bible verses are something like death to all whores. Sex women suck. Everybody's a whore. One of those Bible verses. That would be my guess. God will smite everyone who has sex and has fun. If you have tattoos, God will kill you. them type of Bible verses that he's sending in. If a woman has a period, it's because she's a whore. Hey. We got Donald in the building now. What's popping? Yeah. Oh no, Free Think isn't a mean person. He's not a mean guy. He's actually pretty nice. He's just stupid. But he's pretty nice. He ain't got that dog in him like that at all. Like at all. He's actually quite timid. But he's nice. He's a nice guy. He's just dumb and lost. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and hit this. Hey, yes, the Jezebels, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Here we go. Let's hit this shit now. Yeah. All right. Now what we gonna get into? Ooh, that was a good ass hit. What we say over here, that was a significant hit. Oh yeah, Fritz, I know. I'm just making fun of Free Thinker. He's dumb. Hey. And the other day he dropped a Bible verse that was about like the destruction of Babylon because of harlots in Babylon. I'm like, okay, I know what type of time my brother's on. You feel me? I know what type of time my brother's on. Every woman's a whore. Be like, she's having sex with everybody except for me. She won't have sex with me because she's a whore. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Trump ally says Biden impeach remark is confession. All right, now let's get into what they got to see about this. Maggie Haberman's Trump World source told her Trump's stunning Biden impeachment remark was a confession. So let's go ahead and get into this because, Trump also is an idiot and he's always telling.
To discuss Maggie Haberman, she's a senior political correspondent with the New York Times and CNN political analyst. I mean, he's basically admitting it's retribution and that there would be more retribution on indictments.
It's not like he's been particularly subtle on the idea that retribution is coming if he comes back into office. But that is something that people have been hoping to avoid him saying explicitly around this Biden impeachment inquiry because it does make it seem as if it is less on the level. It makes it harder for Republicans who are going to get dragged into this to sell it in districts that are more centrist and so forth.
How much is he pulling the strings on this impeachment stuff? I mean, you had reported in the Times that Marjorie Taylor Greene had met with him at Bedminster. CNN had reported that he had talked to Elise Stefanik as well.
The Elise Stefanik reporting, I think, is really important, and those conversations, I think, have been key here. Our understanding is that he is not aggressively twisting Kevin McCarthy's arms, but as you know, he doesn't really have to do that sometimes. He can just toss out a suggestion, or he can, ask.
Right, harlots are where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Harlots help the world spin. Harlots be cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like people be like, oh, she has to be horrible. And then you meet him. It's like, oh, she's actually quite great.
About it. And I think that
you never know with people, you know what I'm saying? You can meet a doctor, you can meet a lawyer, and they're just horrible people. You can meet somebody, you can meet your idol. You'd be like, oh, I can't wait to meet that person. It turns out that they're just assholes. And then you meet somebody who you would think, oh, I bet they're just horrible. And then actually they're not at all.
Some of the conversations, it's been that way, but he's made very clear, as he has publicly, that he favors this. And he has going back several months, and I expect you will hear more of it. But that was a surprisingly candid statement that one person who is an ally of his described as a confession to me about an hour ago.
Wow.
Okay. Let us continue. He said, harlots are for me. He said, harlots are for me and you. Yes. All right. Now, more. Morning Joe says Donald Trump confessed to crimes in Megyn Kelly interview. He admitted everything.
Yep. More now from that interview where Donald Trump seemed to confess to some of the federal charges against him. Crimes.
When he talks, it happens.
Crimes.
All the time.
Host Megyn Kelly
committed those crimes.
pressed Trump on his handling of classified materials and the audio recording of him showing a classified document to people at his golf club in New Jersey.
Okay, but let's get to my question. Why would you be holding up a newspaper saying this is still secret?
I'd have to look at it.
I could declassify it if I were president.
I would have to look at it.
But that's what you told Brett Baier. You told Brett Baier that that was a newspaper.
I could
or
have
a magazine.
declassified. No, I also told Brett Baier, as I remember, I don't know, it was a long time interview.
Well, you tell me, what were you waving around?
I also told Brett Baier that it wasn't a classified document.
What were you waving around in that meeting? Because it certainly sounds
I'm not
like
going to talk to you about that because that's already been, I think, very substantiated, and there's no problem with it.
It hasn't been substantiated. Jack Smith says
Megyn,
it was
let
the
me just
attack
tell you.
plan,
Let me
and you
just
told Brett Baier.
Let me tell you. Here we go again. I'm covered by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do what I want to do. I'm allowed to have documents. The Presidential Records Act is civil, not criminal.
That's
in any way. It's civil,
true.
and I'm covered by it 100%.
Can I ask you what you
And
mean
this
by
shouldn't
that?
even be a case. And then they say I fought them and I obstructed. This is the same thing. They have a fake crime. There is no crime. In fact, it's civil. It's not criminal.
That's true.
And so
They're saying that's why they say Espionage Act to make it criminal.
Oh, they make it
I don't even wanna-
Espionage Act like it's something
We'll be
like,
here all day if we
like
get
the
into all that.
Spanish Armada is going to raid us. And look, the Espionage Act of 1917 has no impact on this. I am covered 100%.
I got it. There's a dispute about that,
One thing
about whether the,
well, you
about
can
whether
dispute
presidential.
it.
No,
You
no,
can
there's
dispute it.
just so my audience knows.
I don't think there's any dispute that I'm covered under the Presidential Records Act.
Well, you're covered, but it's not clear that it allowed you to take all those documents. You can't say
It says what it says. You're
So,
allowed. And
do you believe that every CIA document that came to you as president was automatically yours to keep, no matter what?
I'm not going to answer that question
Well, so
because
that's the dispute.
No, because I think it's clear in the document.
It's nothing about it. It's clear, Andrew Weissman. That was the biggest nonsense, biggest BS. I mean, him saying that he could take whatever he wanted to take because of the Presidential Records Act, it doesn't fall under the Presidential Records Act. The guy steals nuclear secrets. He steals secret plans. And again, I'm not exactly sure why this wasn't pushed a little bit more there, but he told Susie Wiles, what I am holding is a classified document. I shouldn't be showing it to you. If I were still president, I could declassify it. But since I'm not president, I can't declassify it. He admitted everything right there on tape, clear as day. So I'm not exactly sure who he was lying to there and who's stupid enough to believe any of what he just said.
Bro, Donald Trump is outrageously dumb. He's so stupid because he did say that. He really said that. Like,
because again, you look at the facts of this case and it's all there in black and white. Trump is these entire cases are built by Donald Trump and people that Donald Trump hired. That's it.
So the key there is that it's on tape. I mean, this is one where the government is just in the most incredible position because they have the defendant on tape confessing to the crime. I also think, just to Willie's point, introducing this, is you have the former leader of the free world saying he's not sure when you get a subpoena whether that means you have to produce documents. I mean, this case is just not about the facts.
Ludicrous.
This is spinning to his base to try this case in the court of public opinion. There just isn't a dispute here if you are dispassionate about the facts. I think the biggest challenge for the government is getting this particular case to trial. They are not being helped out by the Florida judge, who has been very slow in making rulings and deciding things. So that I think is going to be the challenge. I suspect that they are putting all of their effort on the January 6th DC case, because the Florida case is something that, you know, it remains to be seen just exactly when that will go to trial. But the case itself is overwhelming.
So, Jen, just to bore people even further, on June 9th of this year, 3 months ago, the National Archives, the National Archives.
What makes what Jen is saying even funnier is that Jen is from Australia. So, you know, it's just like a representation of, again, how big like the United States is. Like, you know, the world sees us as military bullies, big, huge capitalists that just money, and ridiculous reality television show. That's what they see. You know what I'm saying? She over here cracking up about his accordion hands. And again, because Donald Trump ain't as big of a problem to them in terms of like they're not about to elect Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to be the greatest reality TV show ever if you're not an American. Like, it just has to be. Like, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I know it has to be incredible. I mean, you know, obviously a lot of the world has a lot of mixed feelings about this entity that is the USA. But you know, Australia isn't like in shambles. So y'all can kick y'all feet up a little bit and just grab your popcorn and laugh. Yeah, that boy Donald Trump be like, bro, do something else.
Archives put out a detailed statement in the face of all this, what you just heard from President Trump, former President Trump, what you hear from his lawyers about how the Presidential Records Act. And they very politely said that none of what you're hearing from Trump and his team about our laws, our rules, is true. One attorney for Donald Trump tried to then spin it and say, well, there's usually a 2-year grace period where the former president can take these records with him. He and his staff can sort through them and decide which are no, the National Archives says, no, that's not at all how this works. So the people who need to hear this may not hear it, but if you're interested in the truth, you can go to the website of the National Archives. The statement is from June 9th and read a detailed explanation of what the Presidential Records Act says and does not say.
That's true. And you can certainly become an expert on the Presidential Record Act should you choose. Now, I think it's also important to know here, the indictment that Jack Smith wrote, the speaking indictment his team wrote, had a detailed list of the documents they are talking about here. Now, it doesn't have all the specifics, but what you can tell from their detailed list is that these are documents that have such a high level of classification. They have references like Five Eyes, which means, you know, that it is only for the, it is documents that we got through the cooperation with some of our key partners. It has the highest level of clearance in the government. So what we're talking about here, put the Presidential Records Act, become an expert if you want, aside for just a moment, is the former president of the United States taking nuclear secrets, things that would...
Taking nuclear secrets and being like,
you know, I'm really not supposed to have these, but come look at them. Come check them out. Look how cool this is.
He's just such a big, dumb little kid. Stupid little boy with a toupee on his head. And you know, eternal shout out to what's the name? Ben Glebe for donning the term toupee fiasco. You know, that's the perfect name for Donald Trump, toupee fiasco.
Put at risk our sources, people who are out there on the front lines trying to protect the United States every day, the methods through which they do that, at risk. And he said also in that interview, which is the thing that stuck out to me, I didn't know the timing. Now, we all know the timing. We all know the timing was that they asked for the documents. He declined to provide them, and he held on to these highly sensitive documents and shared them and showed them to who knows who. So outside of the Presidential Records Act, that's the piece that should be concerning.
Well, and not only do you know the timing, he had his lawyers sign documents saying, we have returned everything back to the FBI and the DOJ, to the federal government, and lied to the government about returning all the documents when he knew he had not returned all the documents. And then he went to his IT people and asked if they would destroy the tapes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, they may not have destroyed them, but he asked for that, which...
Moving on to the next. On to the next one now. All right, let's see. This is just funny real quick. Elon Musk is just always getting roasted in some form of fashion. What's the name? Elon Musk posted something with Ice Cube, and then Ice Cube posted it back, and it was just funny. Elon Musk posted, hold on, let's see. Remember Ice Cube? This is him now. Feel old yet? I guess he say like he's lost his luster. You know what I'm saying? And then here, Ice Cube put back, remember Twitter? This is it now. Feel stupid yet? It's just Elon Musk is just people. He's just so just like, you know, it's just interesting, like how so many people just don't rock with him, just like don't accept him. Yes, exactly. Roast the Musk. Like he just seems just he's so lame. Elon Musk is. But no, that was just there's really no commentary to give in regards to that right there. Let's see. Trump rages about evidence. So we got it. We just gonna keep on going in the line. That's what we're gonna do right now. We just gonna keep going down the line. Trump rages to Kristen Welker about charge he tried to destroy evidence. Swears he'll testify.
Let's talk about your interview with the former president. He talked about some of his legal troubles. Let's roll what he had to say about the classified documents case in Florida.
I want to ask you about the case related to Mar-a-Lago. A new charge suggests you asked a staffer to delete security camera footage so it wouldn't get into the hands of investigators. Did you do that? It's false.
But let me tell you what.
Would you testify to that under oath?
I'll testify.
You testify to that under oath?
It's a fake charge by this deranged lunatic.
It's just fake. Like that's it. It's just fake. That's all. Like
A prosecutor who lost in the Supreme Court 9-0, and he tried to destroy lots of lives. He's a lunatic. So it's a fake charge. But more importantly, the tapes weren't deleted. In other words, there was nothing done to them. And they were my tapes. I could have fought them. I didn't even have to give them the tapes, I don't think. I think I would have won in court. When they asked for the tapes, I said, sure, they're my tapes.
Bruh, how unsure. He sounds so unsure. I think if I wouldn't have gave him to him, I think I would have won. Like, bro, look at the concern on his face. He don't sleep, bro. Look at them bags. That man ain't slept. He does not sleep. I mean, literally be like 3, 4 in the morning. You wake up, be like, Trump goes on a 57 tweet spree, like, or truth now, because he doesn't really do much on Twitter anymore. But he sounds so uncertain. And like I mean, look at this dude, bruh.
But more importantly, the tapes weren't deleted. In other words, there was nothing done to them. And they were my tapes. I could have fought them. I didn't even have to give them the tapes, I don't think. I think I would have won in court. When they asked for the tapes, I said, sure, they're my tapes. I could have fought them. I didn't even have to give them. Just so you understand, though, we didn't delete anything. Nothing was deleted.
So that's false. The people who testified.
Number one, the statement is false. Much more importantly, when the tapes came, and everybody says this, they weren't deleted.
Everybody says this. Everybody. That's why I'm in this position.
100%.
Well, just to be
clear,
clear,
look at his face.
When the tapes came, and everybody says this, they weren't deleted. We give him 100%.
Bro, look at him. He looks, bruh, he is like, and I'm not even being shallow right now. Like, I'm not even gonna talk about it like that, but like, look at him, bruh. Like, he looks like he is terrified. And how can he not be? I mean, seriously, legitimately though. I mean, at the end of the day, he's just a human being. But you can see it on his face, bro. Like, he is grasping. He is grasping for absolutely anything that he can get. You can see the desperation. Like, this man, but again, like, how can he not feel that way? But unfortunately for him, he just continuously makes it worse for himself.
Well, just to be clear, the allegation is not that they were deleted. The allegation is that he asked for them to be deleted.
Exactly. And what is so notable is that he says, yes, I will testify.
ALV said, imagine being a microbe living on his face.
Under oath. Now, the question is, will he really do that? This gets to the heart of the obstruction piece of this.
Yeah, man, he's just not doing well. But that's what I'm saying. How could he be? I don't care. I mean, look, listen, I don't care who you are. Jail prison fucking sucks. I don't care who you are. Don't nobody want to be there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe some people do, but the only people who want to be in jail typically are like, you know, maybe have very, very bad mental health problems and have been homeless for years and are, you know, like addicted to very hard drugs. And it, like, but I mean, the percentage of people who really would want to be in jail, basically what I'm getting at is like near zero. You feel me? So like, I say all that to say anybody would be fucking freaking out if they was about to go to jail or a prison, because you got to get ready for it. Like, damn, I'm about to be in this motherfucker. All right, shit, I'm about to have to live like this. But Donald Trump, though, you feel me? Like, I mean, it's not just him going to prison. It's his legacy. It's his brand. It's what people think about him, what people say about him, because that's really what matters most, more than anything else, to a man like Donald Trump. And you feel me? Like he's trying to force history to remember him in a certain type of way, and it just won't. History gonna remember him the way that he is. And all he had to do was never become president. Jim Jordan makes it clear the Biden impeachment inquiry rests entirely on a widely debunked conspiracy theory. Oh, let's hear it.
Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, who is confident that he has the votes. Is that right?
I think if it comes to a vote, if that's what the speaker wants, I think we can get the votes, but you don't need that to move forward. There's all kinds of evidence that warrants moving to this phase of our constitutional duty to do oversight of the executive branch. But I think there are four key facts, four central facts that are at the heart of this issue. The first is Hunter Biden was put on the Burisma.
Yeah, Vincent, gang members, man, shit. They people just like everybody else. And them motherfuckers, when they get sat down and they like, look, buddy, we're going to give you a 35 to life. They'd be like, oh, okay. And they tell on everybody. Because nobody would have been in no goddamn prison for decades. You feel me? Like nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like, man, the prison system in this country is a motherfucker, man. Like, it rightfully sparks tremendous fear in everyone, because they be, man, once you in the system, you in that motherfucker. And goddamn, bro, like, I mean, look at everything that Pablo Escobar did to avoid being sent here. You know, look at everything. And look, El Chapo's story ended here. You feel me? Like, in terms of like anything that he could do, that's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, the American prison system is nothing to scoff at. I don't give a fuck who you are, man.
Board. Second, he was put on that board with no qualifications. Third, Burisma asked him, can you weigh in with D.C. to relieve the pressure we're under from the prosecution, from the prosecutor here in Ukraine? And fourth, Joe Biden did just that. He leveraged our tax money to get the prosecutor fired. And that fourth fact is validation of what the confidential human source said in the 1023 form. So that is what is central to this case. And then you got all the other facts surrounding it, the emails, the dinners, the phone calls, the meetings, the 5,000 times he used the pseudonym and all that stuff. But those four central facts are really what this is about. And that's why the speaker has said we're moving to this phase of our constitutional duty to do oversight of the executive branch.
But what changes? What more power do you have right now? I'm just reading Andy McCarthy's column, and he says the only thing that changes is the name of the inquiry. You guys were still moving ahead. Do you have more power?
Well, if the Speaker of the House, second in line to the president, says we're in an impeachment inquiry phase, I think that means something. I think it will certainly mean something to courts when we get into the inevitable game that's going to play out here, where we want certain documents, we want certain witnesses to be deposed, and the administration says, no, they're going to drag their feet on that. So when that happens, I think that gives added weight to it. And then if we go to a vote, which we're not precluding from happening at all, the Speaker's not said that. If we go to a vote, I think that it gives even more weight to it. But that's the significance, I think, of what the Speaker announced yesterday.
Mr. Chairman, what things can you do that you couldn't do before, now with an inquiry determined?
Well, I think it ramps up the pace at which we're going to try to get information from the executive branch. And then again, if we end up in court, as is typically the case with these kind of things, I think that helps our position in the courts when we're making our argument.
UC Love, the only reason Jim Jordan isn't charged with anything is because whoever it is who's in a position to charge him for it doesn't care. That's it.
So Democrats are saying, the White House is saying this is extreme politics at its worst. They're saying that Republicans haven't turned up any evidence of wrongdoing. You just went through a lot of the evidence already.
You said he is anxiety personified.
Here's what some of the well, I think this is just a clip of John Fetterman making fun of all this, making it all a big joke. Watch this.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it.
What's your reaction?
I mean, it's John Fetterman. I don't know that it's worth reacting to what he says. What I know is the facts are, I think, overwhelming for moving into this stage of an investigation. Again, you can just 10% for the big guy. Everyone's confirmed. That is.
Yo, he ain't have nothing to say. He ain't have nothing to say. But that's actually sometimes very effective, man, when you ain't got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't look strong because he didn't have anything to say about John Fetterman. Because at the end of the day, it's like, look, if you don't end up having the votes, then it don't matter what you're saying right now. So, and he knows that. You feel me? So why would he go on the attack to John Fetterman? Because he knows John Fetterman would just lob something back and it will be funny. You know what I'm saying? I have that type of an effect on people. I don't know like a ton about Fetterman in terms of like his interactions with a lot of people other than him being able to do stuff like that. But I'm able to disarm people because, like a lot of the time people be like, oh, he's stupid. And then like, no, I'm funnier than you. And if you think I'm dumb, then I'm probably smarter than you. I'm not smarter than everybody, obviously, but if you think I'm stupid, then I'm almost certainly smarter than you. So, so that's how it is. Be like, nah, I don't know if I want to publicly feud with Jackson because, and if people don't know that, they're gonna find that out quick because whatever it is that you're trying to do, I'm probably better at it than you. I don't give a fuck. That's some of why I like John Fetterman. You feel me? Because it's like if he would have picked that fight with him, then John Fetterman would have probably just roasted the shit out of him. Stupid.
Joe Biden, 50% for Pops. That other email, the brand, Devon Archer, a business partner of Hunter Biden, in the deposition under oath said the brand they were selling, the brand was Joe Biden, and on it goes with the facts. The White House's position has changed multiple times. Multiple family members in the Biden family getting paid millions of dollars that went into 20 different companies. So you can go through all the facts, but the four central facts are the one dealing with Burisma. And here's the irony. That is the very thing they went after President Trump.
Yeah, man, you got to disarm these people. That's how you disarm them. And that was a beautiful example of it right there. John Fetterman disarmed them because he made fun of them because these people are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Disarm them. And sometimes you disarm them with humor and ridicule. Don't treat them like they're serious because they are not.
They went after President Trump for something that wasn't accurate. They said he held up money and got Ukraine to do certain things. Ukraine didn't do anything, and they got the money. But they impeached President Trump for that. Joe Biden leveraged American tax dollars to get certain actions from Ukraine. That's the big irony here. He actually did what they impeached President.
But at the end of the day, the reason why people don't care is because, well, enough people. The reason why people outside of the deep Republican base don't care about this is because what difference does it make? You feel me? The guy on the other side is Donald Trump, who's facing so many legal issues. All 91 charges, 91 federal charges. Like, come on, bro. 4-time indicted. So, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are both very old and not really preferred by the majority. And, so that's just what it is. Megyn Kelly praised for letting Trump confess during interview. Oh, it's going to come to the website. Can't watch it on, you can't watch it on here. Hold up. Bring it to this other page.
bring it to this other page real quick for you.
We have a deranged guy named Jack Smith who's been overturned at the Supreme Court a number of times. And he gets overturned. You know why he gets overturned? Because he goes too far. They don't even mention the Presidential Records Act. This is all about the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to have these documents. I'm allowed to take these documents, classified or not classified. And frankly, when I have them, they become unclassified. People think you have to go through a ritual. You don't. At least in my opinion, you don't. We have a deranged guy named Jack Smith who's been overturned at the Supreme Court a number of times. And he gets overturned. You know why he gets overturned? Because he goes too far. They don't even mention the Presidential Records Act. This is all about the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to have these documents. I'm allowed to take these documents, classified or not classified. And frankly, when I have them, they become unclassified. People.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah. I mean, he can't help himself. He's too stupid. He's too stupid. I mean, okay, we got another one on the same, on the last page. But like, bro, like, just stay off TV. But he can't.
I did absolutely nothing wrong.
Okay, so let's get to my question. Why would you be holding up a newspaper saying this is still secret?
I'd have to look at it.
I could declassify it if I were president.
I would have to look at it.
But that's what
well,
you told
I could
Brett
have.
Baier. You told Brett Baier that that was a newspaper.
I could have
or a magazine.
declassified. No, I also told Brett Baier, as I remember, I don't know, it was a long time interview.
Well, you tell me, what were you waving around?
I also told Brett Baier that it wasn't a classified document.
What were you waving around in that meeting? Because it certainly sounds
I'm not
like
going
it
to
was
talk
an
to you
attack
about
plan.
that because that's already been, I think, very substantiated, and there's no problem with
It
it.
hasn't been substantiated. Jack Smith says
Megan,
it was
let
the
me just
attack
tell you.
plan.
Let me
and you
just
told Brett Baier.
Let me tell you. Here we go.
Let me tell you.
I'm covered by the Presidential Records. Let me.
And you
just
told.
there's some power in those words. Oh, thank you, LV. I appreciate it. My allergies go crazy when the weather goes like this. You feel me? It's kind of cool outside today. It's nice, but I'm sneezing a lot. But
let me tell you. Like, shut up.
Told Brett Baier.
Let me tell you. Here we go again.
Here we go
I'm covered
again.
by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do what I want to do. I'm allowed to have documents. The Presidential Records Act is civil, not criminal.
That's
in
true.
any way. It's
That's
civil,
true.
and I'm covered by it 100%.
Can I ask you what you
And this
mean by
shouldn't
that?
even be a case. Now,
No, and I'm
it
not,
should be
I'm
a
not trying to
case.
come at you criminally.
Of
I'm
course,
trying to
of
say.
course you are. But listen,
No, I
it
started
should
off
be
by saying
Megan, let me just
it's not
say,
about the criminal.
This should be a case for Biden because he is not covered by the Presidential Records Act.
Oh God. Oh, another one. Hold up. Is this the same thing though? Yeah, it's the same one. George Conway posted, interviewers should be required to read him his Miranda rights. And I mean, look, listen, it's like, I mean, you know, like I say, it doesn't matter, man. He's going to continue to bury himself. He's going to continue to cause issues for himself because he can't help himself. The Democratic Party is essentially Pornhub now, claims Laura Ingraham. I haven't heard this, so let's see, because I don't really know. Let's see how this goes.
All right, this is a real headline from the AP. Virginia candidate who live streams sex videos draws support from women and a leading Democrat. Why is this something that women are supporting? No one leaked these videos of this Virginia
Hold on, I missed it. I was reading something.
candidate. All right, this is a real headline from the AP. Virginia candidate who live streams sex videos draws support from women and a leading Democrat. Why is this something that women are supporting? No one leaked these videos of this Virginia candidate. She put them on a porn website for money. But somehow this is now a rallying cry for respect. You know, what are women doing to themselves? Joining me now, try to get some answers, Rachel Campos Duffy, Fox News host and contributor, and Peachy Keenan, author of Domestic Extremists, A Practical Guide to Winning the Culture War. Rachel, I saw this. I thought it was a joke. Now, publishing porn, you then complain when people start talking about it, say that that's a violation of your, I guess, privacy. But then the empowerment is supposed to come from all of this. How is this happening?
Yeah, I mean, Laura, the fact that we're even talking about this, and this involves not just a woman, but a mother of two, a nurse in a suburban district. I mean, this just shows how far we've fallen as a civilization. It's shameful.
As a civilization. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's like this is just one person. You know what I'm saying? Like they not even like bring it up like a stat chart, like to show anything. It's just like this one person represents the fall of civilization. Like, okay.
Shameful. And now she's coming out and she's saying this is a crime. The crime is against her family.
Who cares? Like, I mean, either people vote for her or they don't. I mean, like, you know, like, who cares?
And by the way, let's not let her husband off the hook. I think it's important to note that she performed these acts for money with her husband involved as well. So these are not good people. And the Democrat Party isn't distancing themselves at all from this, Laura. They're doubling down. They are.
Yes, definitely. Women be making money. Yeah, we're going to get a shirt made that says that for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, and two, I mean, they can comment on this if they'd like. But, you know, it's like either people will vote for her or they'll vote for someone else.
Fundraising for her. You know, she's endorsed by Eric Holder, which pretty much means she's practically endorsed by the
Of course, they're not talking nothing about, I don't know, nothing. They're not saying nothing about what she wants to do, who she's endorsed by, and which, and then before that, it's just, you know, I guess that she has OnlyFans and stuff like that or whatever.
Obamas. So this is not, they're not ashamed of it. The media is backing her up. And this is a real sign of the pornification of America, of the normalization.
The pornification of America because of this one person. I mean, yeah, OnlyFans, you got those types of platforms and stuff, but it's just so ridiculous to when people act like humanity is just now obsessed with sex or only at certain points throughout our history have we been obsessed with sex. Like, no, we're obsessed with sex because that's how we're fucking put together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. Like, people have more access to seeing anything that they want. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's you know, pornography or anything else. People have more access to everything. But again, this is just one person and you don't have to vote for her.
Of things that should not be normal for a mother of two.
Yeah, so now Peachy, looks like
she said this shouldn't be normal for a mother.
By the Obamas. So this is not,
Yo,
they're not.
Like, I don't know nothing about her, obviously, but so often when you, excuse me, you know, people who will hold these types of opinions will be like, you know, doing everything normal that other people will do. They'd be running around doing all types of freak shit. And that's fine because we all some freaks. You feel me? But the same people who be running around talking all this shit about motherfuckers in this type of way, like, this isn't what a mother should be doing. Yeah, I bet your ass a little freak too. Shut up.
Not ashamed of it. The media is backing her up. And this is a real sign of the pornification of America, of the normalization of things that should not be normal for a mother of two.
Yeah, so now, Peachy, it looks like the Democrat Party is just Pornhub. I mean, it's not a hub for economic growth, but it is essentially Pornhub. Congratulations, women. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I have an
It's like stupid women. She said, congratulations, stupid women.
rule of politics. If you scratch a Democrat, sometimes you'll expose a degenerate. This is a progressive lifestyle, and if you follow it all the way, it will lead you right into the
scratch a Democrat. Sometimes you'll expose a degenerate. Women aren't supposed to like sex. I do know if you like. Oh, okay, shut up.
Better. But the irony is that, you know, feminism at first was to liberate women from prostitution. But modern day feminists have forgotten that. They just rebranded it as liberation.
I don't think feminism in particular was about liberating women from prostitution. That's a very specific angle. But I mean, you know, it's Fox News. There's really not much commentary to give on that. It was just funny to watch. Ah! The fall of civilization. Yo, that's incredibly extreme. Like, really think about that. The fall of civilization over something like that. Oh, communist China surveillance platform TikTok. Uh-oh. I don't even want to watch this shit. Maria Bartiromo grilling Ramaswamy. You're using communist China surveillance platform. Well, TikTok's quite a large platform, so you can't really be mad at the guy for using it. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you can't really be mad at much of anybody for using it that matter, because it's a very, very large platform. Okay, let's see. Hold up. Shouted over by anti-migrant protesters. Are we gonna look at that? CNN news anchors. Oh yeah. They Trump did. I think I got some of that pulled off because Trump said he would never even think of pardoning himself. Like, sure. Hold on.
Morning. Donald Trump says that he would testify in the classified documents case against him. Really? He also says that he would not pardon himself if he won re-election. Really? That's a... And hurricane watches have been issued for parts of New England, the New England coast, as Hurricane Lee moves toward land.
Kate, this is a very standard answer for Donald Trump, saying it's uncertain, it's unlikely that he would do this. But again, adding because he didn't do anything wrong. That is how he usually handles these kind of things, saying that it doesn't matter because he didn't do anything wrong. But as you said, talking quite a bit here.
Yeah, exactly right. Kristen, thank you so much for pulling it together for us.
All right, with us now, CNN senior political analyst John Avlon and CNN political commentator S.E. Cupp. John, percent chance that Donald Trump wouldn't pardon himself if he were convicted of a crime here?
I'm going to go between 1 and 0, John.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, I would never even consider pardoning myself. Why? Who would do that? I'm Donald Trump. Why would I do that? Okay, hold on. Let's see what's up real quick. Honestly, I don't really care about that.
I don't really care about that, to tell you the truth.
Let me see what's up real quick. Jesse Waters, one of our favorite people in the entire world.
Maybe no one in his circle is able to tell him directly. Maybe that's why these messages are coming from outside, and someone could say, sir, we really need to have a serious conversation. And does it open up a position where Joe Biden would say, I've accomplished so much. Look at all I've done. I've done what I said I would do. My son is being hunted by the Republicans, and it's unfair, and he's in recovery, and I love him, and I'm going to pardon him, and I'm going to step down from running for re-election. That is a real possibility and something that would be amazing to cover. It also could be completely untrue.
Yeah. I once went to Camp David, but he was busy doing a drag show. So, no one gets that.
I got it.
Jesse, I'm pretty sure you could see Gavin Newsom's grinning teeth from the International Space Station.
Because of the whitening?
Yeah. No, because Biden...
He might not jump. I'll tell you why. I don't know if he wants to leapfrog a black female VP. He might keep his powder dry until 2028. Remember, if Trump wins, it's only one term. And let's be honest, if Trump wins the revenge tour, it's going to be tough for a Republican to win after that. So Gavin could just keep his powder dry and wait.
It's interesting that he said that. If Trump wins, it's going to be really bad for the Republican Party. That's basically what he just said.
So I'm not sure he's jumping in. And I'm also not sure Biden's going down. He's definitely heading down, but he's not going down without a fight. This is Joe Biden we're talking about, the stubbornest man in Washington, D.C. It's going to get ugly. So Weiss is his pocket boy. He's still protecting Hunter. I don't think he's going to serve a day in jail on the guns. I think they're just going to drag it out. It's a charge not connected to the president. And they don't often prosecute this because it's really hard to prove, because most people don't confess to being on drugs and buying guns. Only Hunter is dumb enough to pull that off. So you're right, though. Now everyone says it's okay to talk about Joe Biden, but they don't know what to say. because in the Democratic Party, you have to say the same thing as everybody else. If you don't,
No, that's the Republican Party. It is the Democratic Party too, but even more so with the Republican Party, way more so. There's a lot more division within the Democratic Party than there is within the Republican Party.
don't say the same thing as everybody else, you're ostracized. So everyone's kind of feeling around in the dark. Is it okay if we talk badly about Kamala? Is it all right if we mention Joe Biden's age? And it's fun to watch because usually they're so
Nick, you hosting an event tonight?
militantly disciplined in their messaging. They're spazzing, and it's very entertaining. The bank records are where it's going to be. They're going to go after Hunters and Joes, but the offshore is where the action is. You can move money from an offshore account to an offshore account. IRS has no clue. Comer's not going to know. Not even the IRS whistleblowers are going to find it. So you got it.
All right, now I think this is the actual video when Trump says that he absolutely would not pardon himself. No, this is something different. That's over somewhere else. Hold on, I'm gonna pull that up here. That's the next thing. But let's watch this. Had they not done it to me, Trump tells begging Kelly Biden impeachment is retribution for his. Which, yes, that's exactly what this is. That's the only reason Biden's being impeached, or he's not being impeached, but the push for it to happen.
All right, so let's start with the impeachment news. Yesterday, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said that the House is
Go ahead and do your thing and keep that shit up. You feel me? Go ahead and just repetition, man. That shit goes such a long way. Just keep doing that shit. Keep doing that shit and keep figuring it out. Keep moving forward.
going to begin an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. I know you were supportive of it. Some people believe
Motherfuckers gotta know that this is what you do. You feel me? Like it can't be, oh, I've seen him a few times. No. Motherfuckers gotta know. Oh, this is what this motherfucker does.
this could do for him with Democrats what the indictments did for you with Republicans, rally support around him. Do you think there's any risk of that?
Look, he's a horrible president. Our country is going to hell. Whether it's impeachment or not impeachment, this man is destroying our country at the border. He's destroying it economically. Inflation's way up now. You see what happened just today. That's up to them if they want to do impeachment or impeachment inquiry. I never had an inquiry. Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy, said, we're going to impeach.
Crazy Nancy.
They didn't do inquiries. They went out and they voted because they had the votes. And as usual, everybody votes, for the Democrats. It's a little bit easier. They didn't have Mitt Romneys of the world. And that's really nice because now he's not running today, as you know. He just announced. I think that's great for the Republican Party, for the country, and for Utah. But that's going to be up to them whether or not they want to do it. I have no idea whether they will or not. We do have a lot of other things, but it's quite important. And they did it to me. And had they not done it to me, I think, and nobody officially said this, but I think had they not done it to me, and I'm very popular in the, they like me and I like them, the Republican Party, perhaps you wouldn't have it being done to them. And this is going to happen with indictments too. They have fake indictments, and I think you're going to see that as time goes by. You're going to see Republicans, when they're in power, doing it. And it's a shame when that happens. I'm not in favor of that, but that's what's going to happen because that's human nature.
Would you do it if you became president again? Turn the indictment tables on the Dems?
Well, I would think about
it. Reptilian brain. Reptilian brain activity. We can't stray away from that. We can't help ourselves.
But I mean, yeah, that's literally what's going on. The push for the Biden impeachment is just because Trump got impeached. That's it. Now, I think this is where he said that he never even wanted to think about pardoning himself.
Kristen, you also asked the former president about the legal challenges that he's facing. You brought up the topic of a pardon, and he had a pretty interesting answer.
Lester, that's right. Former President Trump said it's unlikely he would consider pardoning himself if he were reelected because he said he did nothing wrong, but for the first time revealed he did consider it in his final days in office.
Mr. President, if you were reelected, would you pardon yourself?
I could have pardoned myself. Do you know what? I was given an option to pardon myself. I could have pardoned myself when I left. People said, would you like to pardon yourself? I had a couple of attorneys that said, you can do it if you want. I had some people that said it would look bad if you do it because I think it would look terrible. I said, here's the story. These people are thugs. Horrible people, fascists, Marxists, sick people. They've been after me.
Just throw all the words together. Just throw all the bad words into the cauldron and stir. Just throw them into the pot and stir. Whisk it, but you have to whisk it a little, like when you're making scrambled eggs.
Like Marxist and fascist. Like, God, he's so stupid.
From the day I came down the escalator with Melania, and I did a great job as president. People are acknowledged. Great economy, great jobs, great this, great that. Rebuilt the military, Space Force, everything. I could go on forever. Let me just tell you. I said the last thing I'd ever do is give myself a pardon.
Right, exactly, Mick. Instead of answering the question, Donald Trump is like, this place fucking sucks. Everything about this place is bullshit. Fuck everybody. And you're like, yeah, well, that's right. That's right. Donald Trump is right. Common Trump W. That's a common Donald Trump W right there. Now, this next one. Of course, this motherfucker looks the way he looks. Now, we about to look at this shit. Mick, you really gonna appreciate this one right here. Bare-chested man with large red swastika tattoo caught taping razor blades to Salvation Army church handrail. Now, obviously, that's sick. That's ridiculous. It's disgusting. And it's also stupid. It's just, it's really passive and stupid. But of course, this motherfucker looks like this. Like, of course, a motherfucker who looks like this, who can't look at what's right in front of him. You don't know what the hell going on. It's all types of shit happening. This motherfucker got fucking 280 vision and a giant red swastika. I ain't never read nothing in my life. I can't see what's right in front of me right now. Like, of course he looked like this. I'm gonna duct tape some razor blades to the handrails of the Salvation Army, and I ain't gonna get caught for it. Like, he just like, oh God. Thank you for catching this guy. Jesus. Oh my God. I don't know where you see the Space Force. But yeah, nah, man. That's all I really wanted to look at. It's just like, oh God, just okay, yeah. A good dude like him definitely needs to be in prison. For sure. Oh, get him out of here. But yeah, thank you so much, man. We had another fantastic week. And tonight again, I'm gonna be dropping the membership program. And I'll keep, I'll be promoting this so that everybody knows what's up with everything. And y'all can catch me this evening on what's it called? On the Power Panel. I'm not sure who I'll be on with yet. I got the email for the stories and stuff, so I'm gonna be checking that out soon. But catch me at 6 o'clock. I'll be on the first hour. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all for showing me love. I appreciate y'all for helping to keep me encouraged, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow with everybody. Now, we're not going to get out of here. We ain't getting out of here. Shit. Without. Oh, thank you, J-Pop. Yeah, I had a good time on the Nerd Talk last night. That shit was fun. I think Nerd Talk is gonna do well, especially from a perspective of what we'll be able to do with the show. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's just a lot that we can do with the Nerd Talk show, and I'm just excited about it. You feel me? So yeah, I appreciate you for checking that out. All right. We're going to take a hit. We got the membership programs dropping very, very soon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we got a Ray J hour come. We'll do that next week. This past Tuesday, I just wasn't available for it because my day got started late. So I just wasn't around. Now we about to hit some cherry pie. You know what I'm saying? We got some cherry pie right here. Yes. Ooh, that actually would have hit. That would have hit. I got too much music, man. Sometimes I just don't know where to keep things. Okay, this is fine. We're just gonna keep it here. Y'all got any fun plans this weekend? What y'all got popping? What you got in mind? All right, let's go ahead. Oh yeah, it was back there. It was back there. How blurry you was like, hold up, I heard that back there. I heard that. Oh yeah. Oh, chilling. It should. I'm gonna put it into the playlist. I'll put it into the Nerd Talk playlist or the Nerd News playlist. I'll put it in there. But if you go to the live, and I'm gonna chop stuff up and post it, post up clips. But if you go to the live section on the channel, then you'll be able to see it. It'll be there. Yeah. You said the plants never stop. Oh yeah, go ahead. The plants never stop. The plants give us life. The plants give us sustenance. You know what I'm saying? Without the plants, there'd be so much that we just would not be able to do. Not just us, but damn near everything else. Oh shit, not damn near everything else that's alive. Yeah. I would love to go to a Bing Glebe show. Bing Glebe is funny. All right. Now we ready to hit this now. We ready to hit it now. You know what I mean? All right. Cheers to y'all, man. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all just everything that y'all do, man. It means a lot. It keeps me going. Here we go.
She don't want to strip no more, don't want to hit that pole. Get my own I get it in and go. Try it out, me something better pay your clothes.